Hey there everybody, it's Rick here with AirgunWeb, your home for old school airgun reviews, where we bring you the facts, not fluff. It is a blustery day here in West Texas, but that doesn't matter. We're still going to shoot the Umarex Notos. It's time for an old school airgun review. Let's get started. Alright guys, I definitely want to remind you that we have a Patreon page. We also have the Officers Club over at airgunarmy.com. If you guys want to help support what we got going on, what we're doing, those are some great ways to do it. Links will be in the video description. Now today's video is brought to you by me. I actually bought this gun. When I was going to do a review and Umarex was going to send us one, they were out of stock. And they said, just go buy one, we'll reimburse you. And I went and bought one, and I just never submitted the reimbursement because I was probably going to buy one anyway. So this is actually my personal gun, paid for it myself, and I have been having a ball with it. We've done a bunch of videos already, but now it's time to really get into the review section. Now, one of the things that we got going on today, and I've mentioned it on some of my other recent videos, I'm not sure where this is going to play out in the release schedule, so bear with me if you haven't heard this or if you heard it already. I've got a different mic setup, I got a different camera setup. It is windy today, and the wind goes from not so bad to really terrible. Right now, as you can see, it's really awful. But I've got a mic on there with a dead cat. Hopefully it's blocking out some of that wind. But what I'm trying to do is get a more accurate representation of the conditions and also what we're getting out of our air guns when filming. So hopefully this is accomplishing that. Let me know, you guys let me know what you think. So let's go over the Notos. This gun has been around for a while. I've been shooting it for over a year now. First time I got the chance to play with it was back at Airgun Expo 2022. Yeah, it was probably the star of the show. It's not an expensive airgun. It's sub $300. Depending on some specials, you can get this for a crazy cool deal. Right now, actually, there's some good specials going on with this thing. Let's talk a little bit about some of the features. So I've got my cheat sheet here. First of all, this is a pre-charged pneumatic. If you guys are new to air guns, don't know quite what that is. There's a cylinder right here. That cylinder holds up to 250 bar. We're looking about 3,600 PSI. And you're shooting from that reservoir. Now, the other cool thing this thing has, it's got a regulator. So what it is, like if you've ever reloaded, like I used to do a bunch of handgun reloads, and I had a automatic powder measure that every time you pulled the handle, it was a progressive reloader, and every little stage did its thing, and that powder would measure a certain number of grains and dump it in the shell. A regulator's like that with an air gun. So an unregulated gun, you're gonna have a lot more variation from shot one to the end of the shot curve because pressure changes, right? So the pressure in here is different every time you're shooting. Well, a regulator takes that out of the equation. So what you got is a little regulator and a little thing called a plenum, which is like a little space, which is your charge, and a specific pressure, and that's what's shooting your pellet every time. So it's far more consistent. To find a gun this size, this kind of really awesome build quality, at this price, with it being regulated, it's kind of unique, all right? So I've got some other micro-carbines that are regulated, but they're $1,500. This is less than $300, okay? So very, very cool stuff here. This, again, 22 caliber. It has an adjustable buttstock, so it is kind of like an AR style, so this can shrink or expand. We'll talk about some of the, let's get this on the rest properly. Like overall length with it collapsed is about 31 and some change inches. Fully extended is 34 inches. Let's talk a little bit about noise. I am not going to try and do dB test today. Frankly, one of the videos I'm going to do shortly is I've got 3 dB meters. Each one gives me different results. So if I can't give you accurate results, why am I doing it? So I'm kind of rethinking the whole dB test. Anyway, I will tell you this. This is absolutely backyard friendly, without a doubt. So we have Umarex's, what they call it, their silence air. I think it's their silence air system is probably their trademark deal. So you've got baffles in here. It is not removable, so it's a fixed moderator. but it is very effective, super nice, super quiet, awesome. We talked about fill pressure at 3625 PSI. The regulator pressure is at 1900. So as long as you're looking at your gauge here, as long as you're over 1900 PSI, you're still on the reg. Now, shot count, they say 21 shots. We're actually going to do that today. We're going to do shot count over a chronograph. We're going to see what we're getting. So that'll be fun. We'll find out how close to that is accurate. And also they're saying a max velocity of 700 feet per second. Now, I've gotten better than that a lot of times. Let's see what we're getting today. And let's see, like today I'll probably shoot 15.89s to get that. I have a limited supply of the Hades, just spoiler alert. Hades are the most accurate pellet out of this. I shot a ton. We're going to get to that here in a minute. To fill this, it's got a little fill port here, and it has a fill probe that goes in here. The fill probe, fortunately, has a built-in Foster connector, so you don't have to go hunt an adapter, which is cool. It has a 7-round magazine. It comes with a single-shot tray if you want to use it, and it has a Picatinny rail for your optics. It has a rifled steel barrel, which is 11.75 inches. The trigger is adjustable. It's adjustable this way. I would not call it a two-stage trigger. It has a light section and then the actual shooting section. The light section, I think, is just a spring preload. I don't think it's doing anything internally. I haven't taken it apart, but I'm guessing it's just a spring preload. When you get to the second stage, it's actually just pulling against the sear engagement. So from the factory, it's got a good bit of sear engagement and travel. I have adjusted that out, okay? I haven't done it completely, but I'm like 99% sure you can over adjust this and have it not be in a great situation. So almost too light, like barely able to catch on the sear. You don't want that. But you can adjust it so you adjust out a bunch of that, what's called second stage creep, or it's where that sear engagement, you're just dragging across the sear before it breaks. So you can really shorten that, which is nice. It also makes the trigger pull seem easier. I don't know if it's like any lighter, but because I'm doing like 2 1/4, 2.5 pound trigger pull on this, but it's very crisp and you can take a lot of that creep out and it makes the trigger far more enjoyable to shoot. Weight, let's see if we got some of the other stats here. I just printed these out. These are right off of website here. The weight says 4 pounds, which is about right, super light. Depends on obviously what optic you put on it. Safety is a manual safety. They say it's ideal for small game hunting and target practice. I would agree. They're saying muzzle energy at 13 foot-pounds. We're going to get better than that. We'll find out. They say loudness is a 3 medium. Boy, you talk about an arbitrary number. I would say it's much better than that. But anyway, yeah, I think that's it. Rifle barrel, we've been through that. Side lever, 21 shots. Cylinder size, 66 cc. Yeah, I think what we need to do now is, since we've been through all the basic numbers, let's talk a little bit about just overall accuracy and pellets. So I went through a whole bunch of different pellets, everything from Crosman Premiers up to the different slugs. And the reality is, if I'm just plinking in my backyard, shooting spinner targets or something, any of these are going to work. Now, are some better than others? Absolutely. As I said earlier, the Hades, probably 1/2 inch group, which is pretty awesome. There were no flyers. They all just kind of clumped together, which was great. The Crosman Premiers were like the least pellets. They weren't great. They were okay, but they're like minute a tin can. Let's see, the other honorable mentions would be like the Terminators. What else do we have? And the Baracudas. The 18 grain Baracudas did really well. These guys right here. I think they're probably just a little bit better than the 18 grain JSBs or 15 grain JSBs. The Field Target Trophies did okay. The hollow point, H&N hollow points had a really bad flyer, so nah. But we got these three pellets. This is what we're going to shoot today. But before we do that, let's top our gun off. Let's actually put a chrony on it. Let's do shot count and consistency, and let's see what she's getting, because We want to know that, and then we're going to go to our pellet testing. We're also going to shoot 15-8-9s, which I think is a sweet spot for the pellet choice for this gun. So we're not going to do 18s as far as our chrony and our shot count and our consistency tests. We're going to use 15-8-9s. That's probably what you're going to be shooting, probably what you're going to be hunting with. So let's do our shot count, those tests with that. I need a minute to go get my chronograph, get my 15-8-9s. We're going to fill the gun up, and then, yeah, we're going to do at least, we'll do some shooting. And then we're going to do our accuracy tests. So let me go get that stuff. I'll be right back. One of the beautiful things about having a gun like this that is super compact, fun to shoot, as regulator, you can fill it from a bottle. You can get a lot of fills from this thing and still get a lot of shots because it's not, you're not having to always live in like this perfect sweet spot. You can fill it to 250 bar. It's not a big cylinder, so you get a lot of top offs from this little tank. Yeah, see, this still has over 4,000 psi in it. I've been using this. Did all my early testing today, all my pellet tests and everything with this bottle, with this gun, and I'm still over 4,000 in here. So, how many more top offs can we get? A whole bunch. So, and if you had to pump this by hand, it's a small cylinder, so it's not a ton of work. You can. It's just a really sweet airgun concept package. The whole thing's awesome. All right. Okay, so I'm going to shoot. Let's see. I'm going to go, and for giggles, I am going to shoot. Boy, I got to make this longer. There we go. I am going to go ahead and try and shoot at 50 yards in the wind, just because I can, while we do this chrony test. Now we should be able to get 3 mags. Let's see how we're doing. 772. All right, so right off the rip, they were saying low of 700 or like max 700. We're getting 722. And boy, when I futzed with that trigger, I made it even lighter than it was before I was playing with it. So it's really light now. Get this up a little bit. Get this up a little bit. I gotta adjust this so I'm not resting on it. Okay. All right. Okay, let's take another shot. I don't think I cocked the gun. We're gonna just try. I did. 768. 768. So we were 772, now we're 768, and we're over 20 foot-pounds. So they were saying 770. They were saying like 13 foot-pounds, and this is definitely doing better than that. 770. Okay, that's 4 shots. I'm about 1.5 mil at 50. 763. Okay. 770. 770. That's 70 shots. That's 7 shots. I think we're like 9 FPS right now. Extreme spread. Let's see here. I'm not sure if 21 shots is like going to work, but we're going to see how she does. That's ambitious, but let's see. All right. 770. 770. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but 765. I'm hitting the steel plate, and that's a bullfrog target, by the way. So that's not the big steel plate. That's the little bullfrog target. 763. 763. 768. Okay, so we're at 14 shots in, and let's see. 9 feet per second extreme spread so far, with a 3 foot per second standard deviation. So we're talking super consistent, right? And absolutely doing better than on paper. They were saving 700 feet per second, 13 foot-pounds. No, we are doing almost 800. I mean, we're doing 770, 768, 770. and we're doing 20 plus foot-pounds. So your standard brake barrel, like your 1,000 foot per second class brake barrel, is generally about, oopsies, let me fix this. Okay, pay attention to what I'm doing here. Your 1,000 foot per second brake barrel is generally speaking 16, 17 foot-pounds, and this is 20. So if you talk about, if you wonder why I get so excited about this gun, again, we're talking sub $300, hand pump friendly, quiet, regulated, accurate, good power, weighs 4 pounds. Yeah, I really do like it. All right, here we go.
772. 765. 761. 761. 752.
Yeah, we're dropping now.
747.
Okay, so one of our viewers mentioned he gets 18 shots and then it starts to drop, and we're bang on that. I mean, right on it. So we're gonna get our 21 shots, but it definitely fell off the reg at the end.
740.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we dropped hard at the end. If we stopped at 18, we would have been like 11. Yeah, we've been extreme spread of 11. But now we're extreme spread, because of those last 2 shots, extreme spread of 32. So my suggestion, well, first of all, can you get 21 shots? Yeah, you can. But my suggestion would be 2 mags, top off, keep shooting. Again, that's with 15.89s. If we shot hobbies or something lighter, could it impact shot count? Maybe a little bit, but you know, not a ton. So anyway, so that's what we got. Now what I need to do is we're going to go on to the fun part, which is accuracy. I want to show you guys what the top 3 pellets did. We're going to shoot at 25 yards. I got to top this off, and then I think we can do, we'll probably do 2 groups. Maybe we'll do 2 groups with each. So 14 shots of each, 2 groups, and that'll give us a good idea. Like not just one, but let's see if it's consistently decent and if I can be consistent with it. But yeah, let me go start that camera. We'll top this off. We'll do the shooting thing, and then we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. But so far, so very good. I'll be right back. So I want to get crony numbers while we go through these tests, because each of these are a little different. So I want to see what we're getting out of it. So we're going to start with the pellet that gave us our best results and go from there. So the Hades, if you haven't shot with these, they are awesome. That's a defective pellet. They have what looks like a nuclear warning sign for the head of the pellet. If the skirt goes in and it looks all funky, let's not use that, right? Because we're trying to shoot for accuracy today. When you hunt with these, they are really good on game. So they expand, they rotate, they kind of like a, I don't know, they're pretty nasty. They're really good for hunting a small game, or hunt small game. All right, so we're gonna do 2 groups. Now I had this sighted in for these. It was a little calmer earlier today when I was shooting, so I'm shooting for groups here, guys. So if for whatever reason it's not in the center, it happens. We're just gonna shoot for groups, because that's what we're trying to measure. We can always, like if we find one of these other pellets shoots better, we're gonna, I'm gonna use those. We can always move the group into the center, and then that's what you use. But when you're testing pellets, I'm not gonna re-zero the scope for each and every pellet. I want to see what the groups are doing. Okay, so here we go. Top left.
770.
Yeah, they're right on.
$768.
Okay, I need to work on this trigger.
768.
Yep. playing around with it earlier, I think I went backwards.
770. 770.
That first shot kind of got me.
770. 770.
Okay, so on my other target, all of them hit one group. That first trigger pull kind of got me a little on this. And so I had it a little bit to the right. I wasn't expecting it to fire. All right, the next set of shots here. Second bull down on the left.
$768. $768. $765. $765. $765. $768. $768.
Okay, so as you can see, that's the kind of group I was expecting. I would have had that on the first one, but I had mucked around with that trigger earlier and made it worse. So it's fine now. Let's keep going. So there's our Hades. We got to top it off, and we'll move to the Terminators. All right, let's do it. Top center. Let's see what kind of groups we're going to get. We'll shoot 2 7-shot groups, and let's see what we get.
759.
So 20.9 foot-pounds. A little slower, but same energy.
761. 759.
There's the flyer.
756. 759. 756. 756.
Okay, that is, like I said, it's not as consistent as the Hades, but if I was shooting squirrel, it'd be done. And these are a great hunting pellet. They're actually really good. They have a little point, and then they have this nasty hollow point behind it, this sort of hollow area. So they're also a really good hunting pellet, and kind of right on the money here. Had a couple flyers. It's not as consistent, like I said, but that ain't bad. All right, next bull down, center.
752. 754. 756. 754. 756. 754. 756.
Okay. So the groups aren't quite as good, but still usable, right? That's what I wanted to show, is that I've got 3 very different pellets here. Now we're going to do just a heavier dome pellet. I had to top it off first, but I mean, here we are, H&N 18 grain are going to do next. Let's see how they do. Yeah, top right. See where the 18s are going to land here.
728.
21.4 foot-pounds, so a little more energy.
731.
Even more.
724.
Oh, they're doing well.
725. 21.
Ooh, are they going to beat out the Hades?
700. 31. 700.
They might.
28. 700.
Oh, they might have.
31.
Oh, that is so close. All right, so we got more energy. We're at 21.5 foot-pounds. And we've got an extreme spread of 4, maybe? Oh, no, we have a 10. Extreme spread of 10. Where did I miss one? Oh, there it is. Shot 4 was 721, so we dipped a little bit. Okay, let's do another 7 shots. Okay, next bull down. Let's see if we can keep it going here.
$700. 31. 700. 21. 700. 26. 700. 31. 700. 28. 700. 28. 700. 19.
That's it. I don't know, man. I think the 18s might have pulled out a squeaky little win there. Let me go grab that card, and we'll go ahead and wrap this up. I'll be right back. Yeah, I think it's a pretty clear victory for the 18s. They did really, really well. I mean, the Hades did good on that second group. And maybe, if I was fair, I should shoot him again, because after I put the trigger back to where it was what I was used to, that's what I got. And that's more like this. So I think, in fairness, Hades would be tied, but the reality is the 18s did really, really good. Now, all you need to do is move that to center, and you just be drilling the center of your bull pretty easily. The Terminators are a decent option just for a hunting pellet. I mean, they're not as good as these, right? But they're still better than minute a squirrel head, right? So this group here is really, really good. This group here is really, really good. That's decent. Yeah. I think that it just kind of proves my point with this gun. Again, I'm going to go back to price point here, sub $300, and not just like barely under. It's not like $299, but these are like $270-ish, plus or minus, depending on when you're watching this video. So that's a really good value. I mean, obviously, I'm not trying to be coy about it. I love this gun from the first time I got to play with it back over a year ago. I'm still loving this gun a year later. I want to go hunting. I want to go pesting with this thing. I want to go see, I want to put ATN optic on this and go pesting. That's what I want to do. This inspires me to want to get out and do some shooting. If you want to target shoot in your backyard, we're talking something that's just awesome. It's lightweight, good shot count, regulated. You guys, I mean, I've been through all this already. I like the gun. I think it's a great option, especially coming up on the holidays. It's a phenomenal option. So you definitely take a look at this if you guys are looking to get into air gunning. This is a great option to start with. But that's going to be it, guys. I want to say thank you to all of our sponsors at AirgunWeb, because those are the ones, those guys help us do this work. Even though I paid for this gun myself, I was able to pay for it because we have those great sponsors that just support what we do here on the channel. So if you want to check them out, go to www.airgunweb.com, go to the bottom, and all of those logos on there are folks that help us do what we do. So super huge thank you to them. Want to remind you guys, if you want to help us out directly, if you guys want to help us out, you can do so. Just go to our Patreon page or the Officers Club over at airgunarmy.com. Those are 2 ways. It's $5 a month, and you help us do some more cool videos and get our own products so that we can review them really independently. That's the ultimate goal there is what we're looking to do. So if you want to check that out, links will be in the video description. So that's going to be it for now, guys. My name is Rick Hutzer here with AirgunWeb, your home for old school airgun reviews and where we tell you the facts, not fluff. Thanks so much for watching. See ya.